Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I was poisoned by the sea creature. I hunted down coconuts to hold the mixture. It was the middle of summer, so I had to compete with the blistering hot sun. Even though I needed to build more and explore the island, I had to take breaks periodically throughout the day. Swimming underwater really helps keep you cool, so I swam around and looked on into the great abyss. That's when I thought that I needed to build a hut or a structure over my camp to keep myself in the shade. I started chopping down trees and collecting the sticks. Luckily, I found a hammer when I first arrived, so I would use it to build my stick structure. It took a while to do, but I eventually completed the task. Once I was finished, I cleaned up and cooked some dinner. Oh wait, I needed some food first, so dinner would have to wait. I knew how I could build a fishing rod, and I already found a bobber this morning, so I crafted a rod and headed out to the beach. Did I mention I was an inventor in my normal life? Right, where was I? Oh yeah, fishing. My first cast I had a bite, but my line snapped and I lost the bobber. Luckily it was a few feet in front of me, so I was able to retrieve it. After that, I caught my first fish. I continued, and I caught another. They were pretty small, so I decided to get a crab while I was at it. So I cut up the crab, went back to camp, and cut up the fish to prepare for the fire. This was the night I decided I wanted to try and check out the boat I see over in the water. But I was afraid of sharks and anything else unimaginable. A few years ago I learned about shark repellent for a project I was doing in Africa, so I knew I could make some. Only problem was, I needed a lionfish. A lionfish had zebra-style stripes and large spikes on it that is really poisonous, so I had to use extreme caution when trying to catch one. I made myself a fishing spear and headed out to the waters. I didn't want to go too far, so I stayed near the edge, but I went deep enough to find the fish. Usually these types of fish swim near sunken ships and deep coral, so I went towards the boat and quickly dove down to take a look. And that's when I saw it, a lionfish just below me. I used my spear and poked the fish in the side. After that, I swam towards the shore and looked at the fish. Oh no, I forgot about dinner. I always forgot to eat those first few days, because I was so busy crafting and looking for stuff. It was important I remembered to eat. Okay, back to the sunken boat. I had what I needed for the repellent, but I needed more pippy plants in order to continue making it, so I figured out a way to regrow what was left in the area. After building an area to grow plants, I planted the pippy plants so I can continue to grow them. I also used coconut shells as water containers to grab water and water the plants. I was all set to survive. Next step, sunken ship. I woke up first thing the next day and admired the sunrise. It was sure a sight to see. Not too bummed to be stranded in such a beautiful place. But this was the day I had to venture out to the sunken ship. It could have so many items that I could use, so I mustered up the courage, put on my repellent, and ran into the water. I started to follow the ship down, but it was getting really dark and hard to see. Eventually, I found a cabin and went inside. Did I mention how terrified I was of the deep, dark waters? Yeah, anyways, I continued to look for this stuff and even found a crate. So I grabbed what I could and headed back to the surface. I arrived back at my camp and dropped the crate on the ground so I could search inside. I found a gas can, some leather rope, a few engine parts, and a scrap piece of wood. Not too sure what I could do with it all, but I was definitely going to keep it. Oh yeah, I forgot the best part. A flare gun. I went to the edge of the beach and fired off 2 shots, one low and one high, hoping someone would see it and rescue me. I went back to what I was doing and gathered my tools to put them in the crate for storage. I cleaned up and organized my little area. The looming desire of exploring the island further was growing, and I knew I had to go eventually. So I'll tell you that story on the next episode.